All right, guys, welcome back to the Draft Guys. We're excited to have you here this week. This is a first for Draft Guys. None of the fellas know what the draft topic is going to be. We're getting ready to announce that right now, and I'll give you the rules. I'm going to give you the draft order first so everybody knows who's picking what. Luke Perkins 1, Evan, Judd, Jace, Braxton, Gabe, and then Luke Miller finishing it off. So the draft today is going to be college football players historically, but it does not take into account how good they got in the NFL. So if you draft somebody who was a bum in college but ended up being okay in the NFL, it's not going to give you very many points. So it's college careers. You are allowed to pick any skill position players in any spot in the draft. This is only skill position players. So, but you do need to have at least one of everything. So one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, and one tight end. But you can go one quarterback, three receivers, two running backs, and a tight end. You can set your roster how you want it. The only rule is you have to have at least one of each thing. And you're trying to pick the best overall 7 players, and it is only going to be judged on their college career. All right, those are the rules. Everybody got it?
I have a question.
Okay.
Can I use the phone notes app on my phone, or are we like no phones in sight because we don't even want to be caught cheating?
That's a good
And
question.
listen, if you can use whatever you want to use. You can write stuff down. You can use the phone notes app. If you choose to secretly sneak and use AI, I mean, Jesus is going to get you. So that, you're just it's up to you whether or not you want the punishment of heaven coming after you for lying about AI. But honestly, none of you guys should struggle and need AI for this. You could probably name the 7 top quarterbacks in college football history right now at the top of your heads. So it's going to be, I think, now 7 tight ends. That may get tough, college career-wise, as you move down the list a little. But I think it's going to be an easy draft.
Who's
the
guest judge on this?
And the guest judge is me.
Oh, all right.
Because none of you know more about college football than I do. So that's I think I'll make a good judge this time. I will put the list in chat too, just to see if it agrees with me.
Wait, so did you say quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end? Are we doing defense or no?
No defense, just skill position players on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
But we could get like 4 quarterbacks.
You could. I think you'd lose if you did that, but you could. Because you're trying to build the best roster. So essentially you wouldn't want more than 2 quarterbacks, right? Because you got your starter and your backup.
Right. So this is like if they're playing a game, this is my offense.
Yeah, this is your offense. If you're playing, this is the skill position players you want to go into the CFP with.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to kick this off with pick 1-1. It's Luke Perkins. Tell us who you're taking first overall. This is stressful because these guys probably did not find out about this until we turned the draft on.
If you pick a bad pick here, you're kicked out probably.
This is okay. First pick, I'm going to take Barry Sanders.
Okay.
That's who I'm taking.
I don't.
It's because you saw my flag.
I don't disapprove of that pick at all. I was actually alive and watched Barry Sanders play in college.
Awesome.
And he was pretty great. As a matter of fact, the Thurman Thomas, Barry Sanders backfield, in my opinion, is probably the greatest college backfield of all time, with Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, probably a close second last year. So, all right, Evan, you're up with the second overall pick. Could be back-to-back Oklahoma State guys.
Yeah, he took my pick. I can't complain. That's an amazing pick. Give me Tim Tebow.
Okay, Tim Tebow, quarterback. Possibly the greatest college quarterback of all time. So I think that's a solid pick. Judd's up. Does anybody want to predict who Justice is taking with his first pick?
What? I'm gonna guess Rudy Rudiger.
I'm gonna guess Ian Book.
I'm unpredictable. I'm going Bo Jackson.
Okay, that's a great pick. Yeah, okay. Love Bo Jackson in college. He was incredible. He's actually probably the greatest athlete to ever live, I think. Certainly in my lifetime. So that's a good pick. Okay, Jace, you are an actual football coach. This should be right up your
It's
alley.
true. I'm taking the Johnny Manziel.
Okay, Johnny Football. In college, I can live with that, right? He was a horrible pro, but I can live with that in college. Okay, Braxton.
I'm going to take Baker.
I knew somebody was going to do it. I don't know if Baker needs to go off the board in the first round. I mean, I think he deserves to be in this draft. I just don't know if he's first rounder. Okay, Gabe, you got a winning streak on the line.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have taken this guy if I had the number 1 overall pick. I'm going to go Joe Burrow.
Okay. Put up the greatest college football season we've seen out of a quarterback, with possibly maybe Mendoza last year's. Only one been close numbers wise. But yeah, Burrow's a good pick. Okay, Luke Miller, you got back-to-back picks.
I'm gonna go with Cam Newton,
A lot of
number
quarterbacks
1.
board early.
And then because of lack of depth at tight end, I think I'm gonna go with Mark Andrews.
Okay. That's an interesting strategy, but I don't disagree. All right, Gabe, you're up.
Yeah, I had a similar strategy, except I think it might work out a little better for me because this guy won the best tight end award 2 years in a row. I'm going to go Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, yeah. He was really good. I think in college, Andrews was close to as good. Bowers was just an athletic freak, right? He was a wide receiver who was just big enough to play tight end, where Mark Andrews was a traditional tight end. So
Plus,
Only
Brock
guy to do
Bowers
it-
won natties.
Only got to win the award twice.
yeah, he's really good. Okay, Braxton, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to take Reggie Bush.
Okay. I like that pick. He was electric in
He
college.
should he get his trophy back?
Sure. I mean, everything's legal now, right? Give him it. I mean, honestly, it's supposed to go to the best. I get there was some recruiting violations. Reggie Bush was the best player in college football that year, those 2 years, by a mile. I mean, he was so good. So, yeah, I think he should get his trophy back.
Reggie
All right,
Bush
Jason.
losing his trophy. If he loses his trophy, then Gabe Esseloof loses wins
For what?
for using
Recruiting
chat.
violations?
PEDs.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's insane.
Okay, Jace, you're up.
Anybody take Adrian Peterson yet?
Not yet.
I'm taking Derrick
I
Henry.
thought he was. No, Peterson's not taken yet.
I'm taking Derrick Henry.
Okay. He's like, anybody had Adrian Peterson? Don't care. Taking Henry
Good
anyway.
pick.
No. Okay, this is blowing my mind. We're almost into the round 2 and no wide receivers off the board. It is running backs and quarterbacks and a couple of tight ends. All right, Justice, you're up.
All right, well, I'm going to break that streak. I'm going to go Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he should be the number 1 receiver off the board. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. By the way, before we go on to the next pick, is anybody a little bit concerned that in a podcast where we're all visible, Justice is wearing like a woman's scarf or something? Like, what is happening? Why is that like that?
It's a blueberry blanket.
That's even worse, dude.
I respect it. I respect it.
I have a wife that likes blueberry blankets, and it's cold.
Okay. All right, Evan.
Did anyone? I may have missed it. Did anyone take Herschel Walker?
Herschel Walker has not been taken.
Yeah, I'll take Herschel Walker.
That's a good pick. Okay, Luke Perkins, back-to-back picks, buddy.
Okay, with my quarterback, and this kills me to say this, but I'm going to go Vince Young.
I think that's – I mean, he did not have a good pro career, but he was very good in college.
And then I'm also going to go the tight end route. And I actually watched a movie that this guy was in last week. I'm going Mike Ditka.
Okay. Ditka. That's
Kicking and screaming shout out.
You're screaming. What you know about it?
I can't think. I mean, I didn't watch Ditka play in college, so I'm assuming he was great. I know he was great in the pros. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to get your. We're through 2 rounds with 1 in the 3rd. Any shockers or anybody? Any shockers yet so far?
No, man. I mean, very running back heavy, but I mean, they've drafted some like icons of the running back era. I mean, they're again Heisman winners. I mean, I'm impressed with these guys knowing some of these guys from the '80s who played college ball in the '80s. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think the lists are pretty solid so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any early leaders, really. I think 2 rounds in, everybody's a stud so far.
Yeah, good pick so far. Pretty solid. I agree.
Okay, Evan, you're up.
All right, I have to go dual threat here to cover my bases. I'm going to go Charles Woodson.
Okay. That may have been our first oddball pick because I watched Charles Woodson play, and he was an okay wide receiver, but he was an incredible defender, unbelievable defender. He did win the Heisman, so he was still pretty good at wide receiver. All right, Justice, you got Bo Jackson and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
maybe the 2 best athletes in NFL history.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with another receiver. Pitt. Why can't they? Larry Fitzgerald. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know. I knew Pitt. I couldn't remember his name. Give me Larry Fitz.
that's a good pick. Justice going to struggle when it comes quarterback time, but
There's so many good quarterbacks.
yeah, there's one that's popping right now in my mind that I'm like, well, there's 2 for sure. College quarterbacks that I'm like, they should be drafted already. But okay, Jace, you're up. Manziel and Henry.
I'm going to take the man with the best highlight football video of all time, Tavon Austin.
Fantastic pick.
But
Thank
me and
you.
Jace just watched his highlight reel yesterday.
He was electric, that's for sure. I'm yeah, I mean, I'm pretty shocked that Tavon Austin is the 4th wide receiver off the board, but I think he
played running
for a
back.
college
Due to
career,
iconic
yeah, he had a great
culture and
career.
history of the YouTube video, even more so than play.
Most viewed highlight reel on YouTube of all time.
It's true. He was electric.
All right, Braxton, you got Baker Mayfield and Reggie Bush.
Yeah, I'm going to take probably the biggest Heisman snub of all time, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. C-Mac coming off the board. Reggie Bush, Christian McCaffrey backfield is pretty nasty, for sure, because they can both run and they're great receivers. Like that's a tough backfield. All right, Gabe, you got Joe Burrow, you've got Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between 2 guys, but I feel like one of them. I mean, there's only 2 picks in between me and the next one, but I think one of them's more likely to be taken. One of, I think, 2 receivers to win the Heisman, I'm going to take Devontae Smith.
Okay.
I was hoping he would make it back to me. That's a great pick, Gabe.
There's
That
another
was
receiver.
actually my next pick. So
Does anybody know the other receiver that won the Heisman?
Tim Brown.
Don't say it. Dang it.
Okay, Luke Miller, you're up.
Braxton said McCaffrey is the biggest snub of all time, but I'm going to take Adrian Peterson, who I think is the biggest snub for Heisman.
It's actually my 3rd favorite college running back of all time.
I am shocked that Adrian Peterson is on
3rd
the board.
round, great value.
Yeah, that is great
That
value.
is-
I love it. I love
That's
AP.
bananas to me. That's a
Yep.
on a list that I thought started off a little rough, just got a lot better with AD.
Yeah, very rough. Only the Heisman winner and one of the best tight ends to ever do it.
Who also had one of the most confusing nicknames in college football.
Who?
Adrian Peterson.
AD?
Because everybody called him AD, and if you're an OU fan, you know
All day.
you knew that meant all day. But people like me who didn't follow the OU program closely when he played, I'm like, am I getting his last name wrong? Is it Dieterson? Like, why are people calling him AD? Because his initials are AP. It was just too close. So
That's
I knocked points for the fact that I didn't like
That's
his
fine. That's okay.
But he was an incredible running back. All right, Luke.
I think I'm just gonna go with what Judd just handed me, and I'm gonna go with Tim Brown.
Yeah, Tim Brown was
Yeah.
gone anyway. Luke, he was gonna be gone. I was gonna pick him for you.
Thanks, Judd. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Tim Brown, Heisman winning Notre Dame.
I was picking a receiving Heisman winner either way, so it was whatever Gabe didn't pick.
The thing is, there's so many great receivers, even in the last 10 years. Like receiver is,
but they weren't the best player that year.
Receiver is loaded right now. There's two that I'm thinking of that I cannot believe are still on here. All right, Gabe, you're up.
Yeah, I'm tempted to go for probably one of those receivers you're thinking of. I thought this guy would still be here on the turn. He might be here longer, but I'm not going to take any risks in case anybody's got ball knowledge like that. I'm going to take the only guy to win the Heisman twice, Archie Griffin, at my running back.
Okay.
Good pick.
Where did he play college ball?
Ohio
Was
State.
it Ohio State? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was asking Gabe. Judd, appreciate you.
I'm a genius, so just butt out of it.
All right, Braxton, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to take my first wide receiver, and I'm tied between two, but
Do they play
because
for the same team? Yeah, okay.
because the one won the Blitnikoff, I'm going to take Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I was torn between Jamar and, yeah.
I think that he's the better of the two, especially with the ball in his hands afterwards.
How many wide receivers are we taking?
You as long as you have one of every position, you
As long
can
as you have
build this
one.
any way you want. I would recommend having a backup quarterback because if one of these guys goes down, you probably don't want to pull a dude off the street. But otherwise, one tight end, a couple running backs, a few receivers, a couple quarterbacks. All right, Jace, you're up.
I'm going to take Julio Jones.
Okay, that's a good pick. He was a beast in college. Even though Alabama didn't throw the ball a ton, he was so
Unstoppable.
good. Yeah, physical freak of he's kind of in that Calvin Johnson mold to me. Just such a physical freak of nature. Okay, Judd, Bo Jackson, Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitz. No QB, no tight end.
Yeah, I'm about to change that. Give me Lamar Jackson as my quarterback.
Yikes. I mean, Lamar was a great quarterback in college. I have a hard time liking him.
I think he was one of the best college quarterbacks that I've ever watched. So, I mean, it's kind of hard not to draft him there.
I think he's in that conversation. Okay, Evan, you're up.
Okay, I gotta pick a wide receiver here. I'm gonna go. This is also some bias. I'm gonna go 2-time Biletnikoff winner, Justin Blackmon.
He was great in college. He was great in college.
Yep.
Where did he get drafted? Jaguars?
Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Lasted 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, and then he was out with it was drugs?
Drugs and alcohol. Yep.
Yeah, he was so good. Didn't they have two receivers who did that?
After Justin, we had James Washington won the Biletnikoff, but he didn't win it twice.
Okay, Luke.
Did Dez win the Biletnikoff?
You said what?
Did Dez Bryant win the Biletnikoff?
No.
Yeah, that maybe Dez is who I was thinking of another. All right, Luke, back-to-back picks.
All right, I think I'm gonna grab two of my receivers here. I think one, I'm kind of surprised he's still on here, but I'm going Randy Moss.
Okay. He was very good. Randy Moss wasn't just good in college. I'm pretty sure he was born really good. He was really good in Pee Wee ball. I'm going to guess he was really good in junior high. He was probably really good in high school. He was really good all the way through. Probably the most talented wide receiver of all time.
Yeah.
My opinion only, but.
Well, okay, and my second receiver pick is going to be up there too. I'm going Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I figured that was next. He was a small school guy, right? He didn't have the hoopla that some of these other guys did coming out.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're not taking into account he's the greatest wide receiver to ever live because of his professional career, but he was still incredible. And I read a story one time that I think somebody asked, he was like going to the blue and gray game or some senior game that he went to in college, like an all-star game. And they asked all the guys on the bus, like their opinions, who the greatest wide receiver of all time was. And the article I read said he just stone cold looked the dude in the eye and said, me. And he was just like, yeah, I'm that dude right now. Nobody's ever heard of me yet, but I'm really good. And he turned out to be right. Okay, Evan, 5th round pick.
All right, I have to go I'm going to go with the backup QB here. Against my own better judgment, I'm going to go Kyler Murray.
Okay. Kyler Murray was like watching a video game quarterback.
Phenomenal pick.
Yeah. There are 2 quarterbacks that my mind is blown that they're not gone yet. Or that they're still on the board at this point. Okay, Judd.
I mean, this is going to be taken as a pander pick, but I think this is probably one of the guys you're thinking of. Can I go Peyton Manning as my quarterback?
You can take Peyton Manning. So you took back-to-back quarterbacks. That's an interesting strategy, but yeah, I mean, Manning was, in my opinion, the biggest Heisman snub of all time. Heath Schuler won the Heisman, I think, the year Manning should have won it. Heath Schuler was, so that was crazy. The other guy also got snubbed for the Heisman that I'm thinking of. All right, Jace, you're up.
I'm going to take a local legend from our city of Tulsa, Steve Largent.
Okay. And none of you guys watched Steve Largent play, but I did.
He's got a statue on Meskelly Field.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He's one of the best team players of all time. Yeah.
I would say he's probably one of the best possession wide receivers I've ever seen. To me, he was probably really similar to old dude from the Rams who's now in Seattle.
Some white people down south call him the white Jerry Rice.
That may be true. I don't know. He was very good though. I just don't know how great he was in college, but he was definitely good in the pros.
Elite stats in college. Almost every record.
Elite. Okay. Braxton, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to take my second quarterback, and I'm going to take Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's gone. Was gone.
Oh, is he really?
Yep.
Who got him? I'll trade you.
Luke Miller.
I'll trade you straight up for Reggie Bush.
No trades.
Just kidding. No trades.
Oh, yeah, just kidding. Okay, well then I'm gonna shift to wide receiver, and I thought this was the guy you guys were referencing at Jacksonville, but also Heisman finalist, D.D. Westbrook.
Great pick, Brex.
Of course, all these OU guys are like, great pick. There's a couple of guys that I just cannot believe he was taken over, but okay. All right, Gabe, you're up.
I'm not gonna lie, that was my next pick. So I'm gonna have to pivot. But we're staying home in Norman. I don't know how Richard is gonna value everything, but I do know for a fact that this guy is the all-time receptions leader in college football history. So I'm gonna take Ryan Broyles as my other receiver.
There's a lot of homer picking going on, but I know he put up great stat. I'm worried about some of you with tight end. Like, I think that there are some guys who are going to be in the 7th round and just picking a rando tight end that they can't, that they've never even seen play. Because I think there's only been 3 picked. Yeah, 3. So, okay, Luke, you've already got your tight end lined out, so you're up with back-to-back picks.
For my first pick, I'm going to go with Ashton Genty.
That's a good pick.
Pretty big Heisman snub from our lifetime.
True, maybe the biggest.
Probably the biggest ever.
Yeah, from
Who
our
won-
lifetime. From
Who
our
won
lifetime.
instead of Genty?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, my
First snap
goodness. Yeah,
count.
I forgot.
True.
That's ridiculous.
He was not good.
Although I've read several places that Travis Hunter is an exceptionally good dude.
Ashton Genty seems like a great guy.
You never know, but Travis Hunter is probably a fine
I think
person.
Luke's next pick's probably going to be Henry Ruggs.
That's actually not he's very fast. I'm gonna go with. I have it between 2, but I think I'm gonna go with a crazy pick here. I'm gonna go with O.J. Simpson.
That's not a crazy pick. O.J. Simpson
That's a great pick. Not a
is
crazy pick.
possibly the greatest running back of all time besides Barry Sanders. In college, he was incredible. He did murder a couple of people, so that, I mean,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, for sure.
Allegedly,
The glove
had
didn't
some
fit.
people murdered, but the glove didn't fit, so you must have quit. I actually remember where I was when the news broke that he was being chased driving a white Bronco, and with who was driving? Was it Cato Kalin? Was that the guy's name? I don't know. It was a crazy thing though.
I think we can agree. Good player, bad guy.
Yeah, that's probably a fair assumption. Okay, Jeff, you got any feedback so far? I mean, we're 5 rounds in. You have any clear leaders?
I mean, I like the Reggie Bush pick. I mean, I hate that as a Notre Dame fan because I hated him as a playing against him. But I think Braxton's has a pretty strong roster so far. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I like Braxton's roster too, especially those 3 middle picks were really good. I would have leaned Justice's roster until he went back-to-back QBs, and then that probably left. But then again, I think after some of these picks, there's still a lot of value on the board for sure.
Oh, there is.
Jeff, were you not supporting Notre Dame when OJ was cooking them?
Well, he also
I was
wasn't
not even
alive
alive back then.
Oh wow!
I mean,
I
dude,
wasn't.
Hey, I mean,
wasn't
when the Juice was playing college ball, dude, I wasn't even a thought yet, dude. I mean, I'm not that old. Come on, respect your elders.
That was more my dad's lifetime.
Yeah, my old man remembers the Juice playing.
All right, Gabe, you're up. 6th pick.
I'm struggling. I'm assuming like what's valuable right now is stats, individual awards, national championships, right? So this may not be like the most beloved name on the board, but he does check all 3 of these boxes. So I'm going to take my backup quarterback and get Bryce Young.
Okay.
Respectable pick, Gabe. TBH.
I think this late in the draft, yeah, it's a respectable pick. There's a couple of, well, I'm not going to give any more hints. All right, Braxton.
Okay. I know this is another case where it was just bad in the NFL, but in college, I was so sold on this dude. I took him so high in Dynasty, and he was a phenomenal generational talent in college. I'm going to take Kyle Pitts.
Okay. I in college.
I was about to get Kyle
It's actually a really good pick.
I don't know what tight end to pick now.
Brax, I still have hope in him, honestly. I'm still waiting for his breakout.
Hey, that's why I'm not trading him. I believed when he got picked from Florida, I was like, dude, I was so sold on this dude, and I've been let down probably every year. Actually, every year.
I thought Michael
I'm not
Penix was really gonna regenerate his career.
Tua will.
There's some tight ends from my lifetime and in between my lifetime and what you guys are watching that are still out there that were really good in college. But yeah, it's definitely the toughest spot to fill when you're talking about, because honestly, until the last 10 years, people didn't throw the ball to tight end a whole lot, the last 10 or 15 years. So, there were guys in the NFL who kind of changed that, and then it's trickled down. But all right, Jace, you're up with your 6th overall pick.
Well, no, I went back and forth on the tight end pick, but I'm definitely going to pander to the judge. Give me Dallas Clark.
Okay. I like that pick. Dallas Clark was a beast in college. He was great in the pros. Put up good numbers at Iowa. I think he was a 2nd-round draft pick in the Bill Polian years when the Colts literally never missed on a draft pick. So, great pick, Dallas Clark. Okay, Judd, you're up.
Has somebody already picked Ricky Williams? They definitely could have. I just don't know.
Running back Ricky
From
Williams?
Texas?
No.
Yeah, give me Ricky Williams.
That's a great pick.
I wanted him.
I know, Gabe. I kind of felt like that was happening soon, so I figured I'd pick him up now. Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Williams.
It's sad. He was a good guy too.
Well, he was a weirdo. I mean,
Come on.
he had some real idiosyncrasies about him, but he was.
I feel bad for Ricky Williams always.
In that time frame, there were 3 real standout running backs that I can think of, and he was probably the best. Well, 2nd best of the 3, maybe. There's one that all of you are missing that should have been probably a 1st-round pick, but he's not been drafted yet. Okay, Evan, you're up.
Has anyone picked Vernon Davis?
They have not.
Yeah, I'll take him. That's the only tight end I can think of.
I think that's a fair pick. Okay, Luke, you have your 6th and 7th picks.
Okay, question. Are these the last picks?
This is it. The last 2.
Gosh. Okay. I think I'm going to get my backup QB. I'm going Michael Vick.
Okay, that's an awesome pick.
Yep. Backup QB going Michael Vick. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and get a backup running back as well. And I'm going to pick up Eric Dickerson.
Okay. I don't know how you know who Eric Dickerson is, but he sure was a good player.
Madden Mobile, baby.
Yeah, that's probably right. Eric Dickerson was very cool. He wore the sports goggles. All right, Evan, you're up.
I'm pretty torn between picking a 2nd wide receiver or 2nd running back, but I guess since I picked Charles Woodson, I'll go running back. Has anyone picked Earl Campbell?
Nope.
Yeah, I'll take Earl Campbell. That's the running back Judge should have picked.
Not true. Ricky Williams.
They're both Texas, right?
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Ricky Williams better.
I think history would rank them very close to each other.
I'm more of a Bijan guy.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky was so good. And the thing that you also have to remember is dudes played 3 to 4 years in college at the same team, featured in an offense in like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, where now you might just get one good season out of a guy before he goes hunting more money or ends up in the draft or whatever. So it's a little bit different time. Okay, Justice, your last pick.
All right, I kind of want to go running back and draft my favorite college running back of all time.
You do not have a tight end.
Oh, I don't have a tight end? Oh, no. What have I done to myself? I don't even know for tight end.
Put him on the clock. He's got 10 seconds till he drafts Fart.
Aaron Hernandez is still available, Justice. Just take him.
My eyes are closed. I'm not looking anything up. I'm just thinking. Oh, my goodness.
You got 30 seconds left.
This is horrible.
Just think of a big guy from Notre Dame.
Well, yeah, I know Michael Mayer, is on my mind, but I don't know if there's anybody better. Like maybe T.J. Hawkinson's better.
It's a pretty good recent one. 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just give me T.J. Hawkinson out of Iowa.
Okay.
I think I don't know if there's anybody better available.
There was such a good tight end from a recent draft that you missed.
I'm thinking. I'm trying.
In my opinion, the best tight end that I've ever seen play college football. Okay, Jace, you're up.
For my last pick, this is a receiver, but in college football at OSU, he was actually listed as a running back off and on. I'm going to take Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Until he
Gadget,
physically abused.
monster. Yep,
He physically abused a lady, so I think he probably needs to
that's
get.
fine. He was a special
somebody
teams
needs to get-
guru, receiver, running back. He did it all.
Hey,
Introduced
Judd,
people at the same time.
Good player, bad guy. Good player, bad guy.
What?
We're allowed to pick it.
All right.
Okay,
that's true.
Braxton.
I agree.
Last pick, man.
Yeah, I got to take a quarterback for backup quarterback, and I'm really torn. I want to take this guy, but I don't know. I guess I probably should take somebody who won the Heisman. I'm just torn. I hate this guy. I guess I'll take Caleb Williams.
Okay. I think there was a
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
better.
I'm going to change the pick. I'm going to change the pick.
Can't change.
Yeah, it's in the notes already.
Trash pick.
Caleb Williams was a great
Worst
college
Heisman
player.
of all time.
What a Hellboy pick.
He's a number one draft pick.
Can I please change it? Will you please let me change it? I regret it.
Jalen Hurts is better than Caleb Williams.
No, I don't think
Not
so.
true at all. Caleb Williams.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts led Alabama to SC championship,
Caleb
got
Williams.
booed out, and then got runner-up for Heisman, and he's better than Caleb.
You're all going to
Watch
kick yourself, though, when I tell you the
Yeah.
quarterback you guys missed.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dylan
Gabe, you're
Gabriel
up.
is still available.
Dylan Gabriel.
So was Bo Nix.
Marcus Mariota.
I think
Diego
I'm going
Pavia.
to go for a backup running back. I've got like a star power pick, a stats pick, and like an achievement pick. Rich, which one should I go for?
I'm the judge. I can't give you any hints on that.
Brutal.
Ask Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, what do you think? Brady got some help last week with the kids and stuff.
I mean, I would go with who best highlight reel. Who's the most memorable. Who all these guys on this screen are going to know who this guy is. I would go that pick.
All right. I'm going to trust Jeff, and I'm going to take Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
Ooh,
Good
yeah,
pick.
good pick, solid
That's
pick.
a good pick.
Yeah.
But not the all-time Big Ten rushing leader, who's still out there.
I don't think any of you know who the all-time Big Ten rushing leader is.
I do.
It's Ron Dane, right? But nobody should draft him. He shouldn't be in the conversation, but I think he maybe, unless somebody's passed him recently, Ron Dane was. Okay, Luke Miller, you're up. Last pick of the draft.
I have it between two guys, both tight ends. One, bad guy, good player. Jay said him earlier, Aaron Hernandez. But I think I'm going to go with Trey McBride. John Mackey, over 1,000 receiving yards. Great tight end.
Doubled up on the tight ends with no backup quarterback. Okay.
Yep. Trust my guy.
Okay,
Cam.
so I'm going to give you some thoughts. I mean, I think all the lists are really good. There's a couple of guys based on their college careers. I am shocked Andrew Luck was not taken as possibly Andrew Luck and John Elway. I think
Pac-12
are rated
doesn't not real football.
I think Andrew Luck and John Elway were ranked in number 1 and number 2 college quarterbacks of all time. So those guys, I'm shocked weren't taken. And then how is Marshall Faulk not taken? He was the most unbelievable college running back I've ever seen. Because I was really too young to really appreciate Barry Sanders, but Marshall Faulk was unbelievable in college. Those three guys. And then how does Justice not take Tyler Warren sitting right there at
I just completely forgot about Tyler Warren. I can't lie to you. I really can't. I love Tyler Warren.
Quarterbacks had over, I think he had over 1,000 yards, over 100 catches. Also ran the ball quite a bit.
I was kicking myself after that, and I was thinking of Jonathan Taylor, but he's number 2 in Big Ten rushing yards all
Ron
time.
Dane's one, right?
Yeah, Ron Dane's one. That's the one Google search I did do because I thought it was Jonathan Taylor, but he's number 2 by about almost 1,000 yards. Actually, Ron Dane has
Ron Dane
great
was
yards.
he was
Disqualified.
enormous too.
Yeah, all-time rushing yards in the Big Ten.
Okay, so Jeff, you got any comments for these guys?
No, man. For a surprise topic, I'm really impressed with the depth of all these picks. I mean, besides Justice's his last minute forgot he got the tight end. Almost have to draft fart, as Braxton says. I think they're really good, really deep draft picks. I'm impressed because a lot of these guys played before y'all were even born. So
Yeah, it makes the job pretty tough picking the winners, and honestly, yeah, you guys did better. Than I thought you would do.
yeah, me too.
And there were some homer picks in here that I think make the lists interesting, right? Because there's some OU stuff that probably if we were drafting with a lot of non-OU fans wouldn't have got picked. And then there were probably some Texas guys that should have got picked earlier that didn't get picked because of the OU guys.
Are we going to defend or no?
Yeah, each of you. Yeah, that'll help me. Okay, start with Luke Perkins and give me your defenses of your lists.
Okay, I'm going to keep mine really simple. I'm pretty positive I have the greatest quarterback duo of this whole draft. And not only do I have the greatest duo, but I also have not just the greatest college running back, but the greatest college player of all time in Barry Sanders. I've got 2 insanely good wide receivers. I've got a great historic tight end. I feel very confident. I feel good.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Evan, tell me.
All right, I think I have the best quarterback, arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time, in Tim Tebow. And then I've got the dual threat behind him in Kyler Murray, who also has a Heisman. I have Herschel Walker and Earl Campbell, running backs, maybe not the top list of the names, but they are definitely both, I would feel like, in the top 10, top 15. I've got Justin Blackman. He is one of 2 wide receivers ever to win 2 Biletnikoff Awards. And then I've got Vernon Davis, name that came to mind, early 2000s tight end who, was on the rise when tight ends started getting, passes thrown to him. And then I've got the best dual threat player of all time in Charles Woodson. And my list consists of, I want to say 4 Heisman trophies, maybe 5. I can't count right now, but I think there's a lot of depth there. And then I was not afraid to be the only player to pick, or I wasn't afraid to be the only person to pick a defensive player.
Okay. All right, Judd, give me your list.
All right, I think I have 2 of the most dominant athletes of all time in Calvin Johnson and Bo Jackson. I think I followed that up really well with Larry Fitzgerald, who I think is probably the most underrated college football player of all time, in my opinion. And he's also my favorite, so that's one of my favorites. So that's a little bit of a homer pick. I have Heisman winning Lamar Jackson and Peyton Manning, who I think those 2 picks kind of speak for themselves. Although Lamar Jackson played for crappy Louisville, he made them look a lot better, and he won the Heisman. And I think I had great value with Ricky Williams. Maybe not super great value with T.J. Hawkinson at the end there. Tight ends were a little bit slim, but overall, I think as far as my list goes, I have good value. And like I said, 2 of the most dominant players of all time and a Heisman-winning quarterback.
Okay, Jace, defend your list.
Johnny Manziel, Heisman, top 5 college quarterback of all time. Derrick Henry, Heisman, top 5 college running back of all time. Tavon Austin, maybe one of the best slot receivers of all time and special teams player in college football, and extremely exciting. The best highlight video ever. Julio Jones, a genetic monster. Steve Largent, arguably a top 10 college football receiver of all time. He actually led almost all of his college years at Tulsa in receptions in all of college football and caught for over 1,000 yards multiple times. And that is insane in that era in the 70s. Dallas Clark, top 5 college football tight end of all time. And Tyreek Hill has some of the most crazy highlights in college football, even though I hate him. He actually had one against OU to beat us in the Bedlam Bowl. with the last second punt return touchdown that I still remember.
Okay, Braxton, you're up.
Okay. Baker Mayfield, I mean, probably one of the greatest college stories of all time. Probably one of just the greatest gamers of all time on the field. Caleb Williams, screw that guy. Reggie Bush, incredible, phenomenal generational talent. Christian McCaffrey, I think, is when, like, if you compare that to like Derrick Henry and you compare the rosters and you see what Christian McCaffrey did that year, I think Christian McCaffrey should have won the Heisman. Jamar Chase, Blitnikoff, Dede Westbrook, another guy that was just a true gamer in college, Heisman finalist, one of the probably the greatest offense, top 3 offense of my generation. And I mean, Dede Westbrook was probably the most electric on that offense. And then, I mean, I already sold you on Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Gabe, you're up. You are muted.
Okay, sorry. I think I want to start my defense by saying that we've heard the word greatest thrown around a lot. We've heard a lot about athletes, but the eye test does not trump the box score. I have inarguably the greatest season from a quarterback in college football history. I have the only player to win 2 Heismans at my running back. I feel like that's pretty valuable. I have one of 2 receivers to win the Heisman. Statistically, I think he's probably better than the other receiver that won the Heisman, so you could argue it's the best receiver in college football history. I have the only tight end to win the Mackey Award twice, so probably the best tight end in college football history. I have the all-time receptions leader for a wide receiver in college football history as my second receiver. Bryce Young at my backup quarterback, Heisman, national champion, statistical monster. And if we really care about the highlight reels, I mean, who has a better one than Saquon Barkley? So I have 2 quarterbacks, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and the best tight end. So I feel like I'm also pretty dynamic compared to some of the other rosters.
All right. Luke Miller, you're up.
Before I defend my pick, Gabe just said that if they're one of 2 receivers that have won the Heisman, Travis Hunter is one of 2 players that played offense and defense, and that does not make him a top DB or receiver. So I think that means nothing. But anyways, I have Cam Newton at quarterback, Heisman winner. I debatably have the best backfield with 2 of the biggest Heisman snubs in the 21st century with Adrian Peterson and Ashton Genty. And then we have Heisman winner O.J. Simpson. We also have Tim Brown, one of 2 Heisman winners, like Gabe said. And then at tight end, we have a 1,000-yard receiving tight end with Trey McBride. And then Braxton said 5 minutes ago that one of the top 3 offenses of our lifetime, Mark Andrews on that offense. And without Mark Andrews, they would not have been a top 3 offense of our lifetime. So I think that's pretty necessary for him to be on there because he's an all-around tight end, not just a receiver. But because of the receiver aspect, we do have Trey McBride bringing up the other tight end in that room. So that's my offense.
Would you agree, though, that the LSU offense was probably the best?
Yeah, number 1, maybe of all time.
So that's another crazy
definitely.
thing, right? Is Justin Jefferson was not drafted.
Yeah.
That is pretty mind-blowing. Justin
was
Jefferson
better.
wasn't
Jamar
drafted.
was better for sure.
Well, Jamar was definitely better, but I see 4 or 5 other wide receivers on here that I would have taken Jefferson over. Okay, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on. So this is interesting. I put your lists in chat. It graded every list between an A+ and an A-. So there's like basically what it's saying is picking between these lists is almost impossible. And since I have emotional connection to everybody on this team here, or on this draft, I probably it's really tough for me to pick. I'm going to be as unbiased as humanly possible. And just know that even if you come in last, you still had an A- based on chat's rating. So 7th place is going to be Luke Miller.
What?
And the only reason he's 7th place is he went with 2 tight ends and no backup quarterback. So
We're making the best collected team.
That's
You
a
don't switch
tough route.
quarterbacks mid-game.
That's a
That's
tough
the craziest
route
thing of all
to go
time.
in. I just don't like two tight ends. I think both the tight ends were good. I just think that a quarterback would have put the list up to a little bit higher spot. Again,
But
tough
you
call.
use two tight ends mid-game.
Tough call to make that pick. But that's where I'm at 7. At 6, this is tough too for me because I think the middle of this guy's draft was better than everybody else's. But I don't love with other guys on the board, D.D. Westbrook or Kyle Pitts, because Pitts just had one good season. He did not have a good career. He had one great season. And so I'm going to put Braxton at 6.
Wait, D.D. Westbrook as Blitnikoff winner and Heisman finalist?
I just, when you think of the greatest receiver,
You don't know ball. You don't know ball.
If you're not an Oklahoma fan, I could pull 50 more fans who just like college football, but they're not Oklahoma fans, and they would not have picked D.D. Westbrook in the same spot. Like they probably would have picked C.D. Lamb over D.D. Westbrook.
They don't know ball. They don't know ball.
I don't love that pick. Again, it's an A list. They're all A lists. So somebody's got to be 6th, right? I'm going to put Jace at 5 because Tyreek Hill did not have a good college career. He had some great highlights, but he didn't put up even one full good season. And otherwise, a different pick at 7 probably would have put Jace in the top 3 because I think Julio wasn't used properly, but we all know how great he was in college. But Tyreek Hill was a tough pick for me to swallow. At 4, I'm going to go Evan. I think the Kyler Murray pick pushed you further down. And Charles Woodson, I don't love in the 3rd round either. You could have got him in the 7th because nobody else was thinking Charles Woodson. But you definitely saved yourself with the Earl Campbell pick in the 7th round. I mean, he's arguably a top 5 running back all time. And Tebow, probably the greatest college quarterback of all time, if not top 2 or 3. So I'm going to go Evan there. I'm going to go Gabe at 3. Saquon, again, had one really good season, but the Bowers and Burrow pick, they're the best in your lifetimes at those positions. And I don't think Gabe really knows who Archie Griffin is, but that was a great pick.
He won 2 Heismans. I know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Only player ever to win 2 Heismans.
So that's why I think you're 3rd is that those guys put you a little bit ahead of everybody else. Justice is 2nd. Justice's list would have definitely been 1st, but he went back-to-back quarterbacks early. Could have got Peyton Manning later, and then he flubbed up T.J. Hawkinson's still probably a top 12 tight end of all time in college, but there were guys on the board like Tyler Warren probably would have put you in 1st place. But Luke's list is really good.
Let me see Luke's list here.
I'll read you his list. Barry Sanders, Vince Young, Mike Ditka, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Michael Vick, Eric Dickerson. The 2 most dynamic quarterbacks in college of all time, with the maybe exception of Tebow. Randy Moss, in my opinion, the greatest college wide receiver of all time. Jerry Rice, possibly the 2nd greatest college wide receiver of all time. Greatest running back of all time, and another top 5 running back, and the most iconic tight end of all time. So there's every other list had one possible weak spot. I don't think Luke's had any weak spots. So,
I'm actually not super opposed to that argument. I can't lie.
This is the greatest moment of my life.
I can accept that.
I can accept Luke's list beating mine.
Because even if I go down to Gabe's list, the Ryan Broyles pick, I don't like it, but I understand it. Honestly, I docked it because Saquon was really good for 1 year. And same with Luke Miller. Like Trey McBride is a great pick in the 7th round, but there's no backup quarterback. Jace's list has, again, but Tyreek Hill was just.
We made Luke rage quit.
He was a guru. He was also a running back in college. He did everything. He did it all.
He
He was
He
the last
was,
player on
but
my
man,
bench. He
like,
wasn't a
if you-
starter. He just would come in as a backup running back, backup receiver, make a highlight reel, come right back off, and hit his girlfriend. That wasn't
and
my
he
end all be
also
all.
doesn't
Deal.
have a back. And Jace also doesn't have a backup quarterback.
I didn't
Honestly, if
need
Jace
one.
takes Andrew Luck, if Jace takes Andrew Luck at 7, or Justin Jefferson at 7, or CeeDee Lamb at 7, or for sure Marshall Faulk at 7, he probably would have won the draft.
I took Dallas
that
Clark over
Tyreek Hill
Jason
pick.
Witten for you to pander. Wasn't going to do it for 2 picks. I only pandered for 1.
Marshall Faulk should have been the pick. He's the one guy that I believe should have been on the list that wasn't. But you guys
Tyreek
need to
Hill
just go
snapped the
watch
ball
some.
31 times from the Wildcat formation at OSU. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
While Tim
mean, I
Brown,
know
He's
he's-
quarterback too. That's my gadget.
I know he's a talented player, but if you stack him up against these other guys' college careers, maybe the only guy, Kyle Pitts is probably the only guy on that same level because Pitts had one good season. Everybody else's careers are better than Tyreek Hill's career.
I agree. It was just
Yeah, as an
versatility
OSU fan, I
and
don't
for
think of
culture.
Tyreek Hill.
Right. Look at your
Yeah,
OSU
for
banner
culture,
back there. Back me up.
I said I just don't think of Tyreek Hill when you're talking about best players at OSU.
But he played
No one does.
receiver, running back, and a little bit of Wildcat quarterback. He did it all. He just was a backup. He's a 7
there's no doubt he might be.
Before he got kicked off.
He's probably one of the top 5 best athletes on this draft. But the draft was really college careers, and his career doesn't. I mean, you look at guys like Tebow, or Barry Sanders, or Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson. Honestly, man, Justice just dropped the ball, and his list is solid all the way to 7, and then just didn't think about a tight end until the last minute.
Yeah. And here's what I was thinking. You know what's crazy was the reason I wasn't thinking about a tight end is because
you weren't using ChatGPT.
I was thinking, no, you can. I have made one Google search, and that was to see who the Big Ten leading rushers were. I have not used a single bit of ChatGPT. If I would make an argument, you guys have guys who you've never heard of, and all of my guys are common knowledge, for one. And for two, I forgot all about Rocket Ishmael. I actually think that's the best Notre Dame receiver of all time, even better than Tim Brown. So I did forget about that. So that's who I was thinking about drafting. So I didn't even have any time to think about a tight end.
Rocket was special for sure. But here's how I want to leave the list. Did Luke really rage quit?
I think he did.
He just gave up. Oh, he's back. He's back. So everybody that I've talked to is like, you gotta stop having the boys use chat because their lists are all too perfect. And I think this draft proves that you guys are just smart. Like, and I know I picked a lay down draft because it's college football, but for chat to say all 7 lists are A lists with very few weaknesses, like I'll give you some of the things chat said about the
Where did chat rank us?
So chat ranked you guys a little different than I ranked you. Chat had Luke 1 for the same reasons I said. Every guy on his list is iconic, which again, sometimes you have to be the hammer and not the scalpel. Just pick the guys that everybody knows that are great. And that's kind of what Luke did there. It had Judd's list as second. Really had also ranked him. Both of those lists it ranked an A+. Said Judd's has the fewest weaknesses of any roster, but not as many iconic figures. Had Gabe third, so I went chalk with Chad. I actually didn't know that until right now. And it says Ryan Broyles was incredibly productive, but doesn't have the same national recognition as the other receivers. And Saquon was only spectacular for 1 season. It knocked Evan for the Charles Woodson pick. And said that he should have probably taken Bowers, Andrews, or Pitts, but those were already gone by the time he drafted. It knocked Luke for 2 tight ends, and the fact that Genty doesn't have a long career in college. It knocked Braxton for the D.D. Westbrook pick because he wasn't as historically significant, and Kyle Pitts because his resume was short, and it knocked Jace for the Tyreek Hill pick. Jason Braxton's list both got A-minuses. Luke's got an A-, Evan's got an A, Gabe's got an A, Judd A+, and Luke Perkins A+.
So it ranked me last?
It ranked Jace last in this draft. Chat hates Jace.
Oh
it
my
always
God.
ranks him now.
I should have asked. I was feeling
But
good about
but
my list until then.
But I actually appreciated the Steve Largent pick and the Dallas Clark pick a little bit more than Chat
Yeah,
did,
it's
just
white
because
culture.
I saw those guys play. I know how good they were in college. But I think it is interesting that even without Chat, you guys still all put up A lists. So that means you're tough to beat in these. Like whoever wins this thing has really got to bring it, because I made this week's easy. Next week's is going to be tough. Like it's going to be like the minute. Lots of people are going to draft Fart next week. Like the minute thing it's going to be tough to get it. So I gave you a lay down so you can get used to this, but pretty impressive draft by everybody. Each list was really good. So thanks for tuning in to Draft Guys, everybody. We're glad you were here. We're looking forward to next week, and congratulate Luke Perkins on the big win. Greatest accomplishment of his short life.
The greatest.
And we are out.